All right, for more analysis on the protests sweeping across South Africa, I'm joined now by Lazola Kati, Right to Know's national communications organizer. Lazola, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. The President was very clear today about people having a constitutional right to protest. But when it turns violent, when there's criminal activity in that protest, then it's no longer something that can be condoned by our law.
Sure. No, as the Right to Know campaign, we definitely do not support looting, and we also do not support violent acts within the bounds of protest. However, I think it's very important that the President and the entire government and as a country, we take stock of how we got here. This is not necessarily just a sporadic protest. This is also the community of South Africa actually voicing out their unhappiness. We need to understand the socio-economic situation in South Africa is leaving people jobless, it's leaving people hungry, it's leaving people poor. And this is then the response of the community of South Africa speaking to the government that has not been listening to the people of South Africa.
I absolutely get what you're doing, but there's no justification for what we've seen unfold in South Africa.
Definitely. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. This is why it is important for us to have a working state security agency. It is important for us to have a working domestic intelligence that can also preempt, that can also work with the government to have suitable solutions and avoid situations like this. This is a result of a failed SSA. This is also a result of the government failing to understand the implications of corruption, the implications of a state that is broken. There is absolutely no justification for looting, but there also needs to be recourse that is taken after this looting, and there also needs to be an understanding and interpretation of the South African society that we find ourselves in to avoid these types of situations.
Yeah, definitely the case, right? But, many would argue that even the lockdown, and we've spoken to some of the protesters today, people who are looting are saying that the lockdowns left them hungry. There's nothing else they can do, and all the president is doing is extending the restrictions.
Sure. So we are in a pandemic, and we need to understand as citizens that the lockdown is vital for us to also get ahead of the pandemic. And we also need to understand as citizens that there has to be these types of measures. But from the government side, again, there needs to be better measures. We should have been prepared as a state for a pandemic. We should have been prepared. Our Risk Management Act should have at least stipulated how we get through this. We have millions and billions that have been looted and stolen that could have also have assisted us in this type of situation where we would find citizens not being handed out 350 rand that does not cover anything. We should have been secure. If we can secure our human security in South Africa instead of focusing only on border security, we would not be here. We would have food security, we would have job security, we would have human safety within South Africa.
All right, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. That was Lazola Kati from the Right to Know campaign.